Libraries have always been a place to ignite and fuel imagination, creativity, and knowledge. The Oshkosh Public Library is home to books, music, movies, video games, and more to check out and rent. Not only does this location hold historical and architectural significances, but it is also a focal point of downtown Oshkosh. Located on the corner of Washington Ave and Jefferson, the Oshkosh Public Library has gone through its fair share of changes. The idea to open a free public library in Oshkosh was approved on May 29, 1895. Money for the library was donated via private and public funds. $75,000 was to be gifted by Mr. and Mrs. Marshall Harris. Marshall was a well-known lumberman in the area, but he passed away in 1890. His wife, Abby Danforth Harris, secured their will to donate the money after her death in 1895, only if the community matched their $75,000 donation within 3 years. In the years to come, former U.S. Senator Phil Sawyer privately donated $25,000 towards the project. Sawyer had moved to Wisconsin in 1847 and also worked in the lumber industry before becoming a politician. He served as the mayor of Oshkosh and will later move on to become a U.S. Senator. Sadly, he passed away before the library was finished. By June 22, 1898, the $150,000 budget had been met. The next big decision was to find the architect for the job. William Waters was selected from the applicants. Waters was from New York and moved to Oshkosh in 1867. He had designed many buildings in Oshkosh and all over Wisconsin, including churches, banks, stores, houses, and even the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. By the spring of 1899, construction was underway and the William Waters Library officially opened on Labor Day, September 3, 1900. Waters designed a neoclassical style building. The first floor is raised and the front of the library that faces Washington Ave displays 6 columns. The building also features a 46-foot dome and a multi-level book stack that at maximum capacity could hold 100,000 volumes. The first floor includes a central interior room and reading rooms, offices, and alcoves off to the side. Early on, the west side room was designated for children. The second floor was reserved for non-library purposes and had a lecture room as well as housed what became the Oshkosh Public Museum from 1905 to 1924. After that, the museum moved and occupied the house of Edgar Sawyer, the son of Phil Sawyer. Edgar donated his house to the city in 1922 after little use of the property due to his wife's death. After the museum had moved location, the children's room was moved to the second floor of the library, and in 1951 a flooring was added to the rotunda gallery that closed off the dome. It was clear by 1967 that the popularity and the use of the library was outgrowing its original space. The firm of Iron and Ranke designed an L-shaped addition onto the north and west sides of the original building. A mezzanine level was built to match the main floor already there, and on the east side, a bookmobile, van garage, outreach services, and boiler room were acquired in the expansion. By 1989, the library and its collections had again outgrown the space. This time around, the changes included expansion and renovation that estimated a budget of $11 million. The new design was a U-shaped structure that hugged the original Waters building, which became the focal point of the new design. The roof, walls, and mezzanine level of the 1967 edition were removed, but the basement and the ground level were kept. This restored library was opened October of 1994. The main entrance of the Oshkosh Public Library is on the north side. The first floor is intended for an interactive, bustling space where visitors can easily come in and find what they need. The circulation desk is on the left of the entrance. Behind the desk and on the east side of the building is the bookmobile, van garage, mailroom, and cataloging station. Farther into the building, beyond the circulation desk, are the library's collection of DVDs and video games to check out. The first floor also includes a new book section, large print books, books on CD, new nonfiction books, graphic novels, and internet computers for use. A customer service desk is located just to the right of a light well that overlooks the kid space on the lower level. A section of current magazines and newspapers are housed in the reading room on the first floor and is part of a 3-story space that used to be occupied by the multi-level book stack of the original library. The tables in this room were furnishings from the original 1900 library as well. This reading room highlights some well-known locals including John Hicks. Hicks was publisher of the Oshkosh Daily Northwestern and a library board member among his other positions. He donated and funded multiple statues and monuments around Oshkosh. Many are located in the Oshkosh Public Library or are pictured in the reading room. Busts include one of Marshall Harris and Phil Sawyer, as well as George Washington and Ben Franklin. He also gifted the two famous life-size bronze lions that stand outside of the Washington entrance to the library. It is said that Waters always planned for sculptures to be put in place outside the front of the library, but the lions were not placed until 1912. The lions are almost identical and were named Sawyer and Harris in 1977 after the founders of the library. The lower level of the library includes the basement added on in the 1967 edition and is a two-level space dedicated to the children's room, kid space, meeting rooms, and a technology learning lab. From the second floor, one can catch a glimpse of the original Waters Library and part of the dome. On this floor, users can find paperbacks, westerns, sci-fis, mysteries, fiction, biographies, non-fictions, a section dedicated to classics, and even sections of books dedicated to weddings, green living, and being smart with your money. There are also shelves of books and files cataloging local Oshkosh history, as well as microfilm that dates back to the 1860s. Study rooms and tables, computers with internet access, and a reference desk are also throughout the floor. A small set of stairs will take you into the original Waters Library. This part of the library now houses different types of genealogy collections and many pieces of art. The view from the exposed mezzanine level is of the newspaper and magazine room. Under the dome is an open area, sometimes referred to as the Great Hall, and can seat up to 100 people among the marble floors. The second floor and its balcony are closed to the public, but are visible from underneath the dome. Busts and portraits of the benefactors are located there as well. One of the goals of the library is to get a library card in the hand of everyone and to make visiting the library a normal part of everyone's daily routine. With this in mind, the Oshkosh Public Library has created lots of services and programs to accomplish these goals. In December of 2016, the Friends of the Library instituted a permanent book sale area right by the circulation desk. They also have instituted a couple of self-checkout systems and also a reserved materials area where people can reserve items beforehand, quickly stop in, and check them out without having to search for them. For returning books, there is a book drop within the library, and there is also one set up on the east side of the building. Those visiting the library also have access to internet computers, printers, photocopiers, and fax machines. Visiting the library's website, oshkoshpubliclibrary.org, can lead users to many more services. There, Wisconsin's Digital Library/Overdrive, which are ebooks and audiobooks from a variety of libraries, can be checked out and viewed on smartphones, tablets, and more. For those who prefer physical copies, visit the library's website and check out their extensive catalog of materials, recommend books for the library to purchase, or even do an interlibrary loan. The research and local history tabs on their website can lead to articles and pictures from the early days of the city and the library, genealogical research, city directories, and history on the housing developments. Among many programs offered all year round for kids and teens, every summer the Oshkosh Public Library puts on summer reading programs with the slogan, "Build a Better World," offering prizes and incentives the more they read and accomplish tasks. Roving Readers is a program where volunteers read to groups of children in preschool classes, child care centers, and other community settings. Programs for kids, teens, and adults include story times, classes like those for yoga or financial help, different clubs for discussing books, and even movie showings. A list of programs, services, and events can be found on their website. Who knows what you will discover, learn, and find when you visit the public library located in downtown Oshkosh. So stop in today, register for your very own library card, check out a good book, or 5, And make sure to say hi to Sawyer and Harris on your way.